Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about another artist magical girl of Magia Record, Mayu Kozue. So let's begin. Mayu Kozue is an 18-year-old Magia-type magical girl. She is 156 centimeters in height. She has blue eyes and black hair and comes from Mizuno Ward in Kamihama City. Mayu's soul gem is a blue drop-shaped gem located as a hair ornament on her head. Her weapon is an oversized paintbrush. Mayu's wish to become a magical girl was to help her boss that she works for family from not falling apart. Please don't let my boss's family fall apart. Mayu's witch in Doppel is called Naomi. She attends Mizuna Girls' School in the 10th grade. Mayui's magical girl element is the water element and her ability is called No Attack. For certain periods of time, they will be unable to act. A captivating magical girl who unwittingly attracts much attention from men. Her admiration of fatherly figures gives her the tendency to act unguarded around older men. Granted a love of art by her late father, she intends to work on art reconstruction, and got a job at an art museum to realize that dream. The Doppel at adoration. Its form is a Nadeshiko. The master of this emotion is reluctant to admit that her Doppel represents her nature. It has the power to ensnare others' hearts and hold them under its sway. Anyone pulled in by this Doppel will be unable to resist its allure. Many of its victims will devotedly throw their lives away for it. Others will find it hard to raise a hand against its loveliness. It can compel men in particular to absolute servitude and to a level of self-sacrificing devotion that fears not even death. Even if its target is a woman, she will surely find it difficult to raise her hand against something so beautiful. If she were to use this power to gain too many blind fanatics, however, she would bring about her own end. Mayu is a third-year student at Mizuna Academy, and her hobby is visiting art galleries and museums. In the past, her father had a job in the arts. She developed this interest as well, and works part-time at the Kamihama Contemporary Art Museum. When one of Mayumi's co-workers asks her to bring some tea, Mayumi ends up breaking the cup of the museum director. The co-worker yells at Mayumi, but Mayumi's direct boss tells her to calm down. The boss says he'll take care of it. Mayumi says her boss is very kind. The boss replies that he was reminded of something his own child did. Mayumi says her boss must be a wonderful father. The boss says her father must be better. Mayui says her father died when she was young and doesn't remember what he was like. She hopes he was kind, like her boss is. As she leaves work, Mayumi runs into her friend Sayuki Fumio. Mayumi says the special sword exhibit Sayuki wanted to see isn't open yet. Sayuki says she couldn't wait, so she looked at the normal sword exhibit. Mayumi visits Sayuki to see a Western antiques exhibit, but Sayuki says she has work. After Sayuki leaves, Mayumi's boss appears and asks what happened. When Mayumi explains, the boss says he wouldn't mind going with her. Mayumi accepts. Later, the two go to the exhibit and then go to the store for tea. Also present are Naomi and Mimaka Kurumi. Rina says she was at the cafe for a photo shoot and its most popular item is a limited edition cake. Manaka asks why she was dragged there. Rina says that she hopes the cake will inspire Manaka and she didn't want to come to the restaurant by herself, just to eat cake. In the cafe, Mayumi and her boss discuss the exhibit. The boss says he would like to take Mayumi somewhere else, but Mayumi says she has to make dinner. During further conversation, Mayumi explains she only started cooking to please her mother. The boss says that's admirable of Mayumi. Mayumi says it's nothing, but that she's happy to be praised. Suddenly, a slamming sound is heard. The boss then asks about Mayumi's home cooking, saying he's certain he would eat it all. Mayumi says she could just fall in love. Suddenly, another slam is heard. The sound turns out to be Rina, who is overheard to the conversation and is annoyed. Rina decides to drown her annoyance by eating cake, which includes Manaka's. Manaka asks if Rina's paying the bill. After Mayu bids her boss goodbye, she wonders about her father and if he would take her to exhibits and eat her cooking. Elsewhere, Rina says she couldn't stand watching that fake, innocent, pitiful girl and says she might get herself hurt someday. At her house, Mayumi cooks a dinner for her mother and asks if her father would eat her cooking. Mayumi's mother says he would. Mayu thinks her boss is fatherly and wonders what things would be like if he were her father. If her father was still alive. Later, Mayumi talks to Sayuki at school. Sayuki says she's happy the sword exhibit by One Yuri Kari is opening. However, Mayumi says that they haven't actually started the exhibit because the main attraction has only just arrived. Sayuki says she'll pay for an encounter with a new sword at the intake shop. Mayumi heads to her job at the museum. After the day ends, Mayumi wonders what she'll make for dinner. Mayumi's boss says his wife and child are staying with his wife's parents and invites Mayumi out to eat. Mayumi says she needs to make dinner at her own house. As she leaves, Mayumi realizes her cell phone is gone. Her boss rushes over to bring it back. He then asks again if she'll eat with him, and suddenly becomes very passionate about it. Suddenly Rina bumps into him. Rina yells at them for flirting and demands that they sit down so she can give them a lecture. She tells them that their actions are silently. Mayumi's boss says she ruined it and leaves. Rina yells at him for walking away. Mayumi then apologizes for bothering Rina and says her ability to give warnings is amazing. Rina introduces herself and says Mayumi must have heard of her. Mayumi hasn't, saying she never knew her school had someone so beautiful. Rina believes that Mayu was an annoying, playing innocent girl, but realizes Mayumi is nice and obedient. Rina asks what happened and offers to give some advice. Later at the cafe, Rina is shocked that a married father is going after a high school girl. Rina says that Mayumi gives a sweet, innocent air that attracts old men, and that she would be more noble and imposing. Rina then says that at this rate, Mayumi and her boss's family will end up miserable, and the family will fall apart. At home, Mayumi thinks about the time she learned of her father's death, and then about the words Rina said. Mayumi still isn't sure what's going on, but wonders what she can do. At this point, Kibe appears and offers a contract. A scene shows Mayumi asking her mother if her father loved her. Mayumi's mother says he did, and that she still gets lonely without him. Mayumi says she can't remember her father, but she can remember what it felt like when he passed away. Thinking that she doesn't want her boss's family to suffer the same hardship, Mayumi makes her wish to stop his family from breaking apart. Mayumi narrates that night she made her wish. Her boss transferred to a new job. She probably sure wish was granted, meaning her boss and his family will stay together. Later, Mayumi finds that boys have started hitting on her. Rina constantly steps in to drive them off. resulting in her driving off Sayuki when she just wants to talk to Mayumi. Mayumi doesn't understand what's happening. Rina says that Mayumi will keep getting that sort of attention if she keeps it up, that flirty personality, and asks her to shape up. Mayumi asks if she means to stand up straighter. Rina's scolding response is cut off when she and Mayumi sense a witch. The girls reveal to each other that they are magical girls. Mayumi admits that she never fought a witch before. Rina says she'll fight, with Mayumi as backup. They track the witch to the museum, which is in the special exhibit room. Mayumi wonders about the guests and exhibits, and then is shocked when Sayuki appears that reveals she's also a magical girl. After complaining about the fluffy atmosphere, Rina says that Mayumi and Sayuki can back her up. The girls fight the witch. Rina fires at an attack, but the witch deflects it at Sayuki. Mayumi notices the witch is going after Rina and asks Sayuki to lend her strength. Mayumi then launches a surprise attack at the witch and destroys it. The girls cheer the witch's destruction. Mayumi then thinks that in order to protect people, she needs to think clearly before acting, and wonders if that's what Rina means by shaping up. Rina says that Mayumi was more reliable than she ordinarily is. Mayumi says then she needs to check to see if the guests and exhibits are alright. Sayuki says she has tickets and runs off with Mayumi. Rina is left behind. Mayumi and Sayuki visit and discuss the special exhibit. Rina thinks she can't keep up with the conversation. Sayuki says she has to visit the exhibit again because she wants to complete a katana stamp set. Mayumi thinks she should keep the exhibit's permit as a memento, but finds that she dropped it. A boy picks it up, and Mayumi says she's glad a kind person could help. Rina says people don't change easily. Mayumi says she loves someone that she can depend on. It isn't exactly explained what her abilities are, and they don't seem to be based on her artsy theme. Except for her magi and the design of her outfit and Doppel, her ability is named No Attack. From what this could mean, is that Mayumi has the ability to nullify or stop an attack, and the opponent is unable to attack for a little while. Her first name Mayumi means hemp and friend, and her last name, Kozue, means terminal, respectfully. Fact 1. Her illustrator is Ryo Ueda. Fact 2. The name of her witch refers to the 1925 Japanese novel, Naomi, originally known as A Fool's Love. Naomi in the story is the antagonist. She is a woman who is manipulative and seduces the main character of the novel. This directly can't reference to her Doppel, as its powers have a way to sway victims under its will. Fact 3. Mayu's voice actor is Yukai Saka, who you may know for voicing as Aika Soup, aka Tail Blue, in Gonna Be a Twin Tail, Usatan, the Rabbit Zodiac, in Etotama, Silver Fox in Kemeto Friends, and Lilac in Recovery of an MMO Junkie. And that's it for Mayu Kozue. Next time we will be getting into idols by talking about Sayuki Fumio, so see you next time.